Good evening and welcome to Bill Vining Arena in the Sturgis Physical Education Center on the campus of Ouachita Baptist University in Arkadelphia for tonight's Great American Conference basketball game between the visiting Southern Nazarene Crimson Storm and the Ouachita Tigers. Good evening, everybody. This is Chris Babb filling in for Michael Westbrook, probably for the last time. Hopefully Michael will be able to rejoin us courtside at Bill Vining Arena Thursday when Ouachita hosts Southeastern, and then Saturday when Ouachita hosts East Central University. We're glad to be here. This is a game that was originally supposed to be played between Christmas and New Year's, but because of a COVID cancellation, these two teams found a date on the schedule to be able to make it up. Southern Nazarene made the trip over from Bethany, Oklahoma to play tonight. And I believe they will also be making a trip next week to play Henderson State University on Monday. But tonight, the Ouachita Tigers are hosting the Southern Nazarene Crimson Storm. Let's take a look at the Great American Conference standings as these two teams get ready to square off. Ouachita and Southern Nazarene battling for one of those 8 spots in the GAC tournament. If you were with us last week, at the men's game, at halftime of the men's game, we talked to Ouachita Athletic Director David Sharp about the possibility of a different format to the basketball tournament. Not sure yet, but as of right now, the top 8 will qualify for the Great American Conference tournament in Shawnee, Oklahoma. Southwestern Oklahoma State on top of the conference standings at 8-1. You look down there in the middle from about 6th place down to 10th. And that's where there is just a couple of games difference for the teams. And tonight, a win for either of these teams would go a long way in getting closer to that 8th spot. Ouachita won a half game out of a 3-way tie for 7th place, so a win would put Ouachita at 5-5 in conference play, and tied with Arkansas Tech and Oklahoma Baptist, each, and Ouachita with a win over each of those. Southern Nazarene at 3-5. Currently 10th place, but this is a team, a Crimson Storm team, that is the defending GAC champions. This is a record that is not indicative of this team. Under head coach Trent May, Southern Nazarene won the first ever Great American Conference tournament title last spring, and they have struggled a little bit this year, but this is not a team to be taken lightly despite the record. Let's go ahead and take a look at these teams and the head-to-head matchup. Southern Nazarene comes into the game with an 8-7 overall record, 3-5 in conference play. Their last win was a 12-point loss at East Central in Ada, Oklahoma on Saturday. Southern Nazarene has lost 3 of 4 and have yet to get a win in GAC games on the road. The Ouachita Tigers, 6-7 on the season, 4-5 in conference play, coming off of a 10-point win over Arkansas Tech here at Bill Vining Arena on Saturday, 92-82 win over the Golden Suns. Ouachita's won 2 of 3, and the Tigers are 6-1 at home this season. So if you take a look at some of these comparisons, how do these two teams match up against each other? When you take a look at this team stats, these are teams of differing philosophies. The Tigers want to get up and down the field, up and down the court. Ouachita averaging 80.1 points per game. Southern Nazarene only 64.3 points per game, and points allowed 75 and 58. So you see on those first 2 categories, this is a game of differing styles. Ouachita wants to get up and down the floor. Southern Nazarene would like to slow the pace down just a little bit. We are almost ready for the national anthems. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the starting lineups. First for Southern Nazarene University, 3 graduates and 2 juniors. So this is an experienced team starting for Southern Nazarene. Cassandra Awad, a 5'8 junior guard. Alexis Jones, a 5'8 graduate guard. Emily Monahan, a 5'9 junior guard. Abby Nehus, a 6'2 center, also a graduate student. And Kennedy Gillette, a 5'10 guard, also a graduate. You see there are 3 graduate students and 2 juniors in this lineup. For the Ouachita Tigers, let's take a look at their starting lineups real quickly. Before the national anthem, it is a different story. 3 freshmen. Lainey Mears, Aspen Thornton, Michaela Miller, Claudia Van Zant, Lauren Wright, the starting 5. Let's go ahead and take a pause for the national anthem right now, and we'll come back with more of the starting lineups.
And now let's meet the starting lineup.
Talk a little bit about these two teams as you see the starters announced on your screen. As we mentioned, for Southern Nazarene, Cassandra Awad, a 5'8" junior guard from Lubbock, Texas. Alexis Jones, a 5'8" graduate student from Arlington, Texas at one guard. Emily Monahan, a 5'9" junior guard from Melbourne, Australia. Abby Nehus, a 6'2" graduate student from Mustang, Oklahoma. And Kennedy Gillette, the 5'10" graduate student guard from Edmond, Oklahoma. For the Ouachita Tigers, Lainey Mears, a 5'8" freshman guard from Bologna. Aspen Thornton, the 6'6" freshman guard from Hot Springs, went to Lake Hamilton High School. Michaela Miller, number 13, the 5'6" junior guard from Little Rock. A 6'1" forward, the freshman from Stillwater, Oklahoma. Number 22, Claudia Van Zant. And Lauren Wright, a 5'9" senior guard forward from Wiley, Texas.
6'1" freshman from Stillwater, Oklahoma, number 22, Claudia Van Zandt.
Aspen Thornton, the leading scorer in the Great American Conference. Ouachita averaging 80.1 points per game, as we mentioned earlier. Southern Nazarene, the exact opposite. It'll be interesting to see which offensive philosophy controls this game, and most likely the team that is able to dictate pace offensively to come up with the upper hand. Take a look at some of the statistics of the way they wrap around the conference. Southern Nazarene struggled from the field, last in the GAC in field goal percentage and free throw percentage, but they are first in the GAC in scoring defense, leading the conference, giving up only 58.7 points per game. The Crimson Storm 11th in GAC in scoring offense. Ouachita is 4th. With Southern Nazarene 8-7 on the season, the reigning GAC champs with a lot of experience. Cassandra Awad is the leading scorer for Southern Nazarene. She's the reigning GAC MVP. Southern Nazarene gets the tip. Alexis Jones penetrates to the left. The shot up is short. Nehus gets the rebound. And the putback for Southern Naz. And Nehus gets the Crimson Storm on the board. Michaela Miller goes up. She's blocked by Kennedy Gillette. A foul is going to be called on Gillette. And Michaela Miller will go to the free throw line. Miller, junior guard, shooting 81.1% from the free throw line. Misses the first one off the front of the rim. Trying to get Ouachita on the board early on here. A makeup game. The Tuesday game. Not very often you have the GAC Tuesday game. Are ready to go. 2-1 Ouachita, trailing by 1. Monahan cut off by Lauren Wright. Long pass off the foot of Alexis Jones. Mears went after it for Ouachita, couldn't get it. Gillette, 10 on the shot clock. Nice defense by Ouachita. Alexis Jones is going to have to give it up to Nehus. Shot at the buzzer, shot clock buzzer, no good. Rebound, Aspen Thornton on the run for Ouachita. She operates on Monahan. The left-handed layup is no good. Monahan took a seat. Aspen Thornton knocked off just a little bit maybe because the defender just kind of disappeared. Her left-handed layup was no good, and Southern Nazarene tries to push. Ouachita gets back. Nice inside pass looking for Nehus, but a foul is going to be called on Claudia Van Zant of Ouachita. First personal against Van Zant, first team foul, and Southern Nazarene will inbound the ball under its own basket. Nehus from the baseline, jumper is good. Nehus has all 4 of Southern Nazarene's points, and it's a 3-point lead for the Crimson Storm. Miller gets whistled for a double dribble. She penetrated and decided to try to pass it back out, but picked up her dribble. And the ball goes back over to Southern Nazarene. So the Nazarene, second nice post defense by Aspen Thornton. Size advantage from Gillette, but Thornton was able to knock the pass away. Thornton tries to get it to Van Zant, knocked out of bounds by Abby Nehu. Southern Nazarene on the road for the second time, second straight game, Saturday in Ada, Oklahoma. Road game today here in Arkadelphia. Back to normal action, the regularly scheduled action, Thursday and Saturday for both of these two teams. 5-second violation called on Ouachita as Southern Nazarene denied the inbounds pass, and the Crimson Storm will try to extend this three-point lead using a lot of high ball screens. Pull up from Awat from 17 feet is good. Awat is the leading scorer on this Crimson Storm team. Mentioned at the top of the broadcast, she was the reigning GAC MVP. Suffocating man-to-man defense from Southern Nazarene. Mears in a corner, has to throw it out of bounds. And Southern Nazarene has Ouachita off balance offensively in this first 2:35 of the first quarter. On the floor for Ouachita, Mears, Miller, Thornton, Van Zant, and Lauren Wright. Awat, kick out to Gillette from 17, off to the right, no good. Nehus tried to save it in bounds, but stepped on the baseline, and the ball will go over to Ouachita. Ouachita trying to push the tempo. Done so to this point, just haven't been able to come up with any good looks. Right, dish off to Van Zant, knocked away by Alexis Jones. Monahan thought about pushing it initially, pulls it back out to reset the Southern Naz offense. 5-point lead for the Crimson Storm. Foul is going to be called on Ouachita as the defender had two hands on the ball handler. First foul on Thornton. Second foul called on Ouachita. Southern Nazarene has controlled the tempo and the energy in the first part of the first quarter. Van Zant tries to fight around that one. Nehus is able to corral the pass, get the layup up and good. 8-1. Nehus with 6 for Southern Nazarene. Lauren Wright goes to the basket. A foul is going to be called on the floor, and that's going to be on Kennedy Gillette. Gillette already picked up her second. Gillette, the 5'10 graduate student from Edmond, Oklahoma, product of Heritage Hall High School. She is going to take a seat, and she'll be replaced by J.C. Soap, a 5'7 senior guard from Stillwell, Oklahoma. Miller gets the ball into Thornton, off the glass and short, no good. She gets her own, saves it inbounds to Michaela Miller. Van Zant helps Miller out, goes to the middle. Nice ball fake, but a nice block, nice recovery by Abby Nehus to get the block and the rebound. Soap to the left side, now Awat to the right side. A little bit out of control, but it gets into the hands of Alexis Jones. Jones with the screen, Lainey Mears with a nice steal. Van Zant to Thornton. Thornton lost the handle. Her cross-court pass hits Nehus in the head, and Alexis Jones comes away with it. So backdoor to a cutting Nehus, knocked out of bounds by Van Zant. It'll stay with Southern Nazarene into the game for Ouachita. Mackenzie Schillmoller, 5'8 sophomore guard from Bedford, Texas, and Nero Malou, a 6-foot freshman forward for Grand Prairie, Texas. A nice night Saturday for Malou. Nice pull-away jump, fadeaway jumper from Emily Monahan. And Southern Nazarene is rolling offensively. Malou had 9 of 10 from the free throw line against Arkansas Tech after shooting just 10 free throws. Nice backdoor cut, but the pass from Miller was just too strong for Laney Mears. Ouachita out of sorts offensively. Three-pointer from Soap, no good. Rebound, Michaela Miller. Aspen Thornton fought off Monahan on that as Monahan crashed for that offensive rebound. Michaela Miller goes to the free throw line, to the hole, and a foul is going to be called on Cassandra Awad. That's her first personal foul, third team foul called against Southern Nazarene. Media timeout, we'll take it. 4 minutes, 46 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Southern Nazarene 10, Ouachita 1. We'll be back after this timeout on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Hello, I'm Taylor King. I've been practicing law for over 34 years, but long before that, I learned what it takes to be a good lawyer. Caring for others. You could say it's a family trait, and it's one I've passed along to my kids. If you've been involved in an accident, call 1-800-CAR-WRECK. I want to help.
We want to help, to be on your side, by your side. I'm Austin King. Now, I've not been practicing law quite as long as my dad, but thanks to him, I know what it takes to be a good lawyer. I guess you could say it runs in the family.
4 minutes, 46 seconds remaining in the first quarter, and it's not been a good start for Ouachita. On the other hand, it's been a great start for Southern Nazarene. Crimson Storm up 10-1. Ouachita yet to hit a field goal. The Tigers are 0 for 3. Really only had 3 opportunities, a couple of layups, and then a blocked 15-footer. Southern Nazarene 5 of 9 from the field, 55.6%. Neither team has hit a three-point shot yet. Southern Naz is the only team to have attempted one. It'll be Ouachita's ball in the half court under its own basket. Laney Mears will go baseline around the defender. Rebound to Awad. Ouachita still can't knock the lid off of the basket on their offensive end of the floor. Schillmoller guarding Soap. Kick out to Alexis Jones. Nice knock away by Michaela Miller. Miller's going to go all the way, layup good. Finally for Ouachita, able to get a basket through. Michaela Miller has all 3 of Ouachita's points. And the pass from Alexis Jones to Emily Monahan is too strong. And the ball will go over to Ouachita. New into the game at the timeout for Southern Nazarene, Lily Smith, a 5'7" sophomore guard from Emmett, Idaho. Thornton has the ball knocked away from her, but a foul is going to be called on Southern Nazarene.
Southern Nazarene foul charge number 12, Emily Monahan.
Monahan's first foul, 4th team foul against Southern Nazarene. Into the game for Southern Nazarene, Nefer Leon, a 5'5" senior guard from Vitoria Gasteiz, Spain. Mackenzie Schillmoller with a nice ball fake up and under. Schillmoller gets on the board, and it is 10-5 Southern Nazarene as Ouachita has scored 4 straight out of the timeout. Southern Naz responds, layup no good, rebound Miller. Leon into the game, can't get it to go. Miller kicks out, and a charging foul is going to be called on Michaela Miller. Her pass to the backside to Thornton. The backside wing to Thornton was too high. Thornton did a nice job of catching the ball, but an offensive foul was called on Miller. That is her first, 3rd team foul against Ouachita. These are 2 teams that came in with different offensive results to this point. Nice tie-up by Laney Mears, alternating possession. Will go to Ouachita. Jesse Bennett checks in for Ouachita for the first time tonight. Bennett, a 5'3" senior guard from Leonard, Texas. Lauren Wright back into the game for Ouachita as well. Aspen Thornton leads the way for Ouachita, averaging 26.1 points per game. Hasn't gotten on the scoreboard to this point. Michaela Miller, second on the team, is 16.5 points per game. She has 3 of Ouachita's 5 points tonight. Schillmoller has the other basket for Ouachita. She had a nice game offensively for Ouachita Saturday against Arkansas Tech. Thornton hounded, fadeaway jumper, rolls, can't get the roll to go, and a foul's going to be called on Southern Nazarene on Nefer Leon. Excuse me, I'm sorry, Lily Smith. Got my numbers incorrect. Ouachita will go to the free throw line. Nero Malou, as we mentioned, was 9 of 10 from the free throw line Saturday against Arkansas Tech. 5 of 10 coming into that game, so increased her percentage nicely, but she misses the first of this 2-shot foul. Knocks down the second for her first point of the game. And it is a 4-point Southern Naz lead. Ouachita with 5 straight. Try to get another defensive stop. Thought they almost had it. Smith stolen by Jessie Bennett. Nice help off by Bennett. She steals the ball and then knocked away from her into the hands of Malou to Lauren Wright. Now we're going to have a jump ball, and alternating possession will go to Southern Nazarene as Lily Smith got in there to tie up the ball after Lauren Wright picked up the loose ball. And Southern Nazarene back on the move offensively. Layup from Leon. She bowled her way down the court. Couldn't get it to go. Thornton operates against a Watt out to Schillmoller. Schillmoller, top of the key to Bennett. Knocked away, controlled by Leon. Leon looking for Niehaus back into the game, and Niehaus with a nice left-handed hook shot layup. Niehaus, sorry, I think I said Niehaus. Niehaus has her 8th point of the game, and she stops the bleeding and stops the mini Ouachita run. The lead is back to 6 for Southern Nazarene. Lauren Wright with a spin move, kicks out to Thornton. Pull back, three-pointer, good for Aspen Thornton. Thornton gets her first basket of the night, 12-9. It's a one-possession game. Nero Malou, nice job of post defense of getting around on the top side of Niehaus, tipping the ball and knocking it out of bounds. Aspen Thornton will come get a break for the final 1:13 of the first quarter. Nero Malou comes out as well. Back into the game, Claudia Van Zant for Ouachita, the freshman post player from Stillwater, Oklahoma, as well as Lainey Mears. Lily Smith, ball fake, shot up, no good, rebound of Van Zant. Strong rebound from the freshman. Mears on the run for Ouachita. Traveled with the basketball, and it'll go back to Southern Nazarene. Already 10 turnovers for Ouachita in this first quarter. 6 turnovers for Southern Nazarene. 16 between the two teams in the first 9 minutes of the game. Inside to Niehaus, help from Miller. Nice job of helping on the backside. Van Zant did her job on the top front side. Mears, dish off to Van Zant. Layup is going to be no good, but a foul is going to be called. Good screen and roll by Van Zant. Nefer Leon gets the foul called on her. That's her first personal foul. And Claudia Van Zant goes to the free throw line for 2 shots. Van Zant, 51.9% from the charity stripe on the year. Misses the first and the second. And Southern Nazarene with the ball and a 3-point lead as we wind down things here in the first quarter of play. Watt picks up her dribble, backside to Smith. Smith goes baseline, pull up, in and out, no good. Rebound Van Zant. 20 seconds on the game clock, no on the shot clock. Miller loses the ball out of bounds. She was deciding, I think, whether to shoot the layup or dish off to Van Zant. Just got too fast there. And it is another turnover committed by Ouachita. That's 11 in the quarter. Nice backdoor cut, and a foul is going to be called on Lainey Mears as Lauren Reether, who just checked into the game with the last dead ball, went backdoor, got the pass from Nehus. Reether, a 5'5" junior guard from Oklahoma City. Reether, a 72.7% free throw shooter on the year, goes to the line for the Crimson Storm. Misses the first one off the back of the rim. Aspen Thornton will come in for Ouachita. They won't let Aspen Thornton come in. Second free throw is good from Reether, her first point of the game. Thornton replaces Van Zant. Ouachita will try to get a last second shot, 5.9 in the first quarter. Miller, that's going to be a blocking foul. I don't know why you commit that foul. She tried to get over there and draw the charge, but going to be awfully tough to draw that charge on Michaela Miller. Emily Monahan whistled for her second personal foul. She was a little bit slow getting up. Coach Dallimore of Ouachita asking her if she was all right. She said just took it hard in the stomach. Michaela Miller to the free throw line for Ouachita, knocks down the first one. Miller on the season, 60%, 61% from the free throw line. Misses the second one, and at the buzzer, the shot is no good for Southern Nazarene. So, into the first quarter, Southern Nazarene 13, Ouachita 10. Fast and furious, lots of turnovers between the two teams. It is a 3-point game, and we'll be back with the second quarter. 13-10, Southern Naz leads after the first quarter. We'll be back after this timeout on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
I've heard people say Ouachita.
Wichita.
Achita.
Ouachita.
Is it pronounced Ouachita?
Searching for Ouachita Baptist University.
Back in Texas, everybody pronounces it Wichita, but really, it's Ouachita.
Ouachita. Ouachita.
How would you pronounce it?
Ouachita.
Ouachita.
It's Ouachita Baptist University. Get it right.
It's Ouachita, people. It's Ouachita.
Ouachita.
First, they said cigarettes were safe. We know how that turned out. Now, they say they didn't market e-cigarettes to teens? Fact, more than 1 in 4 high school students are vaping, and 80% say their first e-cigarette was flavored. Vaping is harmful to developing brains. The reason we think vaping is safe? Marketing. Same lies, different day. Tell Big Vape to quit lying.
Back to Bill Vining Arena at Ouachita for the second quarter. Ouachita trails Southern Nazarene by 3, 13-10. Starting the second quarter for Ouachita, Lainey Mears, Michaela Miller, Aspen Thornton, Mackenzie Schulmoller, and Kaylin Wright. First time Kaylin's been into the game. Ouachita trying to get something going offensively. Can't get it going, and Mears from the left side off the glass, no good. Rebound to Watt. Watt on the run. Michaela Miller, will she be able to stop her? She does. At least steer to the other side. Nice defense by Miller. Nice shot by Cassandra Watt. That is her second basket of the game, and it's 15-10. Ouachita shot 37.5% from the field in that first quarter. Southern Nazarene just a little bit better than that, 6 of 14. Excuse me, 5 of 14. Kaylin Wright whistled for a foul on the first possession, called for an illegal screen. Claudia Van Zant will come into the lineup for Ouachita. Another turnover for the Tigers. Thornton and Smith, good guard post battle. That is a good defensive possession for Ouachita. We're going to have an over and back. Good defense for Ouachita. Good post defense by Aspen Thornton, bodying up on Smith. And it forced the errant pass, went into the backcourt. And it will go over to Washita. Michaela Miller triggers the inbounds pass, or catches the inbound pass from Aspen Thornton, who is guarded tightly, very closely by Lily Smith. They're not going to let Aspen Thornton have anything solid or easy. Michaela Miller pull up from 17, no good. We've seen Michaela knock several of those down in the last two games at Henderson State and Saturday against Arkansas Tech. Couldn't get that one to go. Be interesting to see how it progresses with Southern Nazarene on defense, playing a sagging man on some of the Washita players on offense, but not on Aspen Thornton. Lily Smith is face guarding Thornton. Three-pointer from Soap, in and out, no good. Nice job by Mackenzie Schillmoeller of bodying up Abby Nehus. Blocking her out and getting the rebound. Van Zandt also with good defense, and Washita on the move. Thornton gets by Smith. The pull up from the elbow, the left elbow is good. Thornton has 5, and it's 15-12. It was 10-1 Southern Nazarene at the under 5, the first quarter media timeout at the 4:46 mark. Tigers have responded. Another defensive stop, and Miller on the move for Washita. To Mears for 3. Good for Lainey Mears. Hit the trailer. That was Mears. She knocked the 3 down, and we are tied at 15. Soap has the dead ball. Can't do anything with it. Awad on the right corner, guarded by Schillmoeller. Nice defense by Schillmoeller. Nehus misses the shot, gets her own, no good. Gets her own again, and put back is good from Nehus. She has 10 points. Delay a game warning on Southern Nazarene, tipping the ball after going through the basket. And a cheap foul is going to be called on Lily Smith. That's her second personal foul before the ball was even inbounded. It's not going to make Coach Trent May very happy. And Smith will have to take a seat. Now Aspen Thornton is guarded by Alexis Jones. Mears, nice move to Van Zandt, up and under. That's blocked shot from Nehus. She was straight up. There was contact, but since she was straight up, they deemed there was a nice defense by Washita. Soap looked for Nehus. Van Zandt was right in the middle of that passing lane. Miller goes all the way in, put up, no good. Rebound Nehus. Soap, and a foul is going to be called on Mackenzie Schillmoeller. Her first personal foul. Second foul on Washita in the second quarter. Into the game for Southern Nazarene, number 15, Georgia Adams, a 5'10 sophomore guard from Mandurah, Australia. Lauren Wright back in for Washita. So on the floor for Washita, Lauren Wright, Aspen Thornton, Michaela Miller, Lainey Mears, and Claudia Van Zandt. Watt Jones for 3 from the left side, no good. Watt, Jones, Nehus, Adams on the floor for Southern Nazarene. Thornton pull up in transition, no good. Nice rebound, Lauren Wright. She is fouled by Georgia Adams. Her first. Second team foul against Southern Nazarene in the second quarter. Also in the game for Southern Naz, Lauren Reether. You mentioned her a second ago. Those are the 10 on the floor right now. Lauren Wright looking for Aspen Thornton. Instead gets it to Michaela Miller, who takes a glance at the shot clock with 7, pulls up from 17. Gets the shooter's roll to go. Off the front of the rim, back of the rim, dropped in nicely for Michaela Miller. She has 6 points, and we're tied at 17. A. Watt guarded by Michaela Miller, no good, but a loose ball, tie ball, alternating possession will stay with Southern Nazarene. Kaylin Wright will check in for Ouachita, replacing Aspen Thornton.
For the Tigers, number 24, Kaylin Wright.
11 seconds on the shot clock as they wipe up some perspiration from the floor. And we are back to action, tied up. 10-1 was the Southern Nazarene lead after the first 5 minutes of the first quarter. Since then, the Tigers have gotten back in it. Nice hedge by Van Zant. Nehus has an advantage, but the Tigers do a nice job of doubling. Michaela Miller with the front side, Kaylin Wright from the back. Nice look from Miller to Van Zant. The lefty is no good, but a foul is going to be called on Nehus. That's going to be her first foul, third team foul against Southern Nazarene, and Claudia Van Zant will go to the free throw line for Ouachita. 0 for 2 on the night. Van Zant had her best game of the year early in the year against Harding in a home game. I can't get a break on that one as that one hit every part of the rim, nestled it nicely over the front of the rim. Just got too much of that front rim and put it on the back and bounced out. Van Zant, second free throw, nothing but net. Good looking free throw there from Claudia Van Zant. She has a point now, and she has given Ouachita the lead. As we mentioned, Van Zant had a breakout game against Harding in Ouachita's win over Harding, where she guarded the all-conference post player, Sage Hawley. Disadvantage on that official was not in the right spot, and he saw a foul that wasn't there. An immediate timeout, and we'll take it. 18-17. Ouachita leads by 1. We'll be back to Bill Vining Arena after this timeout on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
There's a place to share gossip about the office party fun, and a place to share the story you tell everyone. There's a place to share a laugh about when things went wrong, and a place to share the video of you dancing to your song. There's a place to share spare change, lunch, and your time. But we could all be better at sharing how we're feeling inside. 76% of employees have struggled with at least one issue that affected their mental health. When you share, you're not alone.
Back at Bill Vining Arena for Great American Conference basketball, Southern Nazarene make the trip from Bethany, Oklahoma to Arkadelphia for tonight's makeup game. These teams will be back in action in the normal rotation of games this Thursday and Saturday. Southern Nazarene will return to Arkansas. They'll have the Southeast Arkansas, well, I guess the really South Arkansas trip is Thursday. They'll be in Monticello to face the Cotton Blossoms, and then Saturday in Magnolia to face Southern Arkansas. Ouachita will return home for Thursday and Saturday's game. Thursday, the Tigers will face Southeastern Oklahoma State University at 1 p.m. And then Saturday, Ouachita will host East Central. Thursday, 5:30 p.m. Saturday, 1 p.m. Don't want you showing up here Thursday afternoon for a 1 o'clock game. Back out of the timeout, that foul was called on Lauren Wright. That's her first foul. To the free throw line for Southern Nazarene, Georgia Adams, the 5'10 sophomore guard from Mandurah, Australia. Knocks her first free throw down, her first point of the game. Adams is a 62.5% free throw shooter on the year coming into tonight's game. And she gets the second one to roll around and drop through as well. Initial pressure from Southern Nazarene. Ouachita breaks it, but Miller picks up her dribble. Mears cut to Malou, wasn't there the first time, got it to go, and then Mears picked up her dribble, and as soon as she looked to pass to Michaela Miller, Cassandra Watt flashed in the lane and caused the traveling violation. Aspen Thornton checks into the game for Ouachita, replacing Lainey Mears. Michaela Miller with 6 points for Ouachita, Thornton with 5, Mears with 3. Schulmoller with 2. Van Zant and Malou each have a point for Washita. Nehus leads all scorers with 10 points, 8 of those in the first half. She's working hard down low. Could have been an offensive foul. It wasn't. It ends up in a three-pointer. And I don't think the official on the baseline ever saw what happened, but that's a nice three-pointer from Adams to give Southern Nazarene a 4-point lead. I'm sorry, that was Reether with the three-pointer. And a traveling violation will be called on Southern Naz. I don't think the official ever saw the contact because when she was looking, now she's getting an explanation from giving an explanation to Coach Dallamar that he didn't believe made a lot of sense. Didn't quite please him with the explanation on that one. 4-point lead for Southern Nazarene. Wright gets it to Thornton. 5 on the shot clock. Fadeaway jumper off the front of the rim, no good. Nehus with the rebound. 3:17 remaining in the first half. And Southern Nazarene with the ball and a 4-point lead. Another turnover. We had 17 turnovers between the two teams in the first quarter alone. Now there have been 24, 13 for Washita, 11 turnovers for Southern Nazarene. Either team taking care of the ball all too well. Washita will try to cut into this lead, but another turnover will give Southern Nazarene the run out, and Awat gets the layup to go. Awat gets her 6-point, and it's a 6-point lead for Southern Nazarene. Miller pulls it up from 19, in and out, no good. Rebound to Cassandra Awat. Another turnover. These two teams, Washita came into the game averaging 18.8 turnovers per game. Southern Nazarene 17. So together they're averaging 35. And there have already been 27. We have 2 minutes left in the second quarter. No doubt both coaches will be emphasizing taking care of the ball to their teams at halftime. 24-18. Almost another one. Schulmoller over to Thornton. Step back, three-pointer off, no good. Rebound controlled by Awat. Nice body control by Cassandra to stay inbounds. The reigning GAC MVP saved that possession for Southern Nazarene. It's looking to extend its lead, but a turnover as Reether was trying to find Awat, cutting to the right corner. Couldn't get it, and Washita will have the ball now. Malou, flare screen, Thornton, back to Malou, backside to Michaela Miller, 10 on the shot clock. Two on the shot clock. Miller's going to have to put it up. Three-pointer, no good. Nice crashing rebound from Lauren Wright, but she stepped on the baseline, and the ball will go to Southern Naz. We talked at the outset that these two teams have differing philosophies offensively. Washita averaging 80.1 points per game. Southern Nazarene, exact opposite. These two teams are on opposite ends of scoring offense. Southern Nazarene first in GAC in scoring defense, and that has held true tonight, holding Washita to 18 points. A team that scores 80 a game, on pace for 36. He said whichever offensive philosophy would end up ruling could end up having a say on the game, and to this point it's been Southern Nazarene. Try not to do that again. Southern Nazarene likes to slow it down. Nice defense from Reether on Thornton. They do get the ball to Thornton, back to Miller. Miller goes in, layup no good, a lot of contact, no call. Miller's rebound is no good, but a foul is going to be called on the rebound on Lauren Wright, and Ouachita just can't get the ball to go in the hole. 6 of 23 from the field for Ouachita, 27.3%. 3 of 15 in the second quarter. Lauren Wright picks up her second personal foul. 4 fouls called on Ouachita, 3 on Southern Naz. That won't factor in. This will be the last possession. Thornton guarding Reether. High screen. So, oh my goodness. Got called Lauren Wright for the foul, and that's her third. Her third personal foul. They got her for having 2 hands on the defender, or the ball handler rather, and that will send Southern Nazarene to the line. Just as I said, that might not come into play. Ouachita has whistled for a foul. You've seen a lot of those fouls called with 2 hands. Officials will let a lot of contact go, but you can't put 2 hands on them no matter how little contact, because you're steering the ball handler. If you have those 2 hands, you're gaining the advantage, and that's what the officials are going to call. Claudia Van Zandt has to come in as Nero Malou has to go out to have her uniform looked at by athletic trainer Heather Price. Soap misses the first free throw. 24-18 at almost halftime, and there's a miss. Van Zandt with the rebound. Ouachita will have a chance to make this a 3 or 4 point game, believe it or not, with 3 seconds left. The tip pass from Miller across the lane is tipped into the hands of Kaylin Wright, and her shot at the buzzer was no good. It would have been tough to get that one to go down anyway. It does not go, and that is halftime. Fast and furious pace, but not a lot of points to show for it. We talked about the shooting and the turnovers, and we'll break it down when we come back. It's halftime. Ouachita trails Southern Nazarene 24-18. We'll be back after this long timeout on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Getting directions to Ouachita Baptist University.
Welcome back to Bill Vining Arena on the campus of Ouachita Baptist University. It is halftime. Great American Conference women's basketball. Southern Nazarene 24, Ouachita 18. Chris Babb here filling in for Michael Westbrook. Michael should join us back on press row Thursday as Ouachita will host Southeastern Oklahoma. Women's game at 5:30, men at 7:30. And then again Saturday when Ouachita hosts East Central University, women at 1. Men at 3. Let's take a look at some of the first half statistics. And we talked during the first half about field goal shooting and turnovers, and that's kind of been the theme of the game for both teams. Southern Nazarene, 10 of 26 from the field for 38.5%, 1 of 5 from three-point range, 20%, 3 of 6 from the free throw line for 50%. The leading scorer for Southern Nazarene, Abby Nehus, 5 of 8 from the field, 10 points. She also leads the way in rebounds with 8. She leads all scorers with her 10 points and all rebounders, all players with, in rebounding category, 8 rebounds, 4 offensive and 4 defensive. Cassandra Watt has 6 points for Southern Nazarene, 5 defensive rebounds. Also for Southern Nazarene, Lauren Reether with 4 points, Emily Monahan with 2, and Georgia Adams with 2. 5 players have played but not registered points yet. Alexis Jones, Kennedy Gillette, J.C. Soap, and Lily Smith, as well as Nefer Leon. For Ouachita, the Tigers shooting 26.1% from the field, 6 of 23, 40% from three-point range, 2 of 5, and 4 of 10 from the free throw line, 40% from the charity stripe for Ouachita. Michaela Miller leads the way offensively for Ouachita with 6 points. Aspen Thornton with 5. Lainey Mears with 3. Mackenzie Schulmoller has 2. Claudia Van Zant and Nero Malou each have 1. So neither team shooting well from the field. The turnovers also, 27 turnovers combined between the two teams. Ouachita with 14 turnovers. Southern Nazarene with 13. These two teams come into the game not averaging too many more than what they have at halftime, and undoubtedly Coach Dallimore and Coach May are talking to their team about really taking care of the ball a whole lot better than they did in the first half. Take a look at the foul situation for Southern Nazarene. J.C. Soap with 3 fouls, Alexis Jones with 2 fouls, Abby Nehus, Lily Smith, Lauren Reether, and Georgia Adams each with 1. Ouachita, a little bit more foul trouble than that. Michaela Miller, I'm looking for the wrong category. That is correct. I have Lauren Wright with 3 fouls. Yeah, the wrong category area. So let me correct myself. The stat sheet has 2 foul categories, and I just read the wrong category. So let's kind of scratch what you just heard from Southern Nazarene. This will be better than the Southern Nazarene fans who may be tuning in. J.C. Soap does not have any fouls. She does not have 3 of those, a different foul category. 2 fouls apiece for Emily Monahan, Kennedy Gillette, and Lily Smith. They all have 2 fouls. 1 foul for Abby Nehus, Cassandra Watt, Nefer Leon, and Georgia Adams. A little bit better there for Southern Nazarene, especially for J.C. Soap. For Ouachita, foul trouble, Lauren Wright with 3, and then 6 players each have 1 personal foul. Claudia Van Zant, Lainey Mears, Aspen Thornton, Michaela Miller, Mackenzie Schulmoller, and Kaylin Wright. Points off of those turnovers, Southern Nazarene 14 points off of the Ouachita turnovers. Ouachita only managed 6 points off of the Southern Nazarene turnovers. Southern Nazarene also has an advantage of points in the paint. The Crimson Storm with 10 points in the paint, Ouachita with only 4. Second chance points about even, 4 for Southern Nazarene, 3 for Ouachita. No really fast break points you'd expect in a 24-18 game. 2 leads changes and 3 ties. The biggest lead for Southern Nazarene was 9 points at the 5:16 mark of the first quarter. That was also the end of an 8-0 run. The biggest lead for Ouachita was only 1. That was 18-17 at the 5:13 mark of the second quarter. Southern Nazarene has had the lead for 18 minutes and 22 seconds of this 20-minute first half. So that is your halftime look at your halftime statistics. Southern Nazarene 24, Ouachita 18. We'll take a longer break, and then when we come back, we'll set up the second half. We'll probably hear a word from the Ouachita School of Humanities, the Rogers Department of Communications. This is a Production of the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, the student sports media production program in the Rogers Department of Communications. I'm Chris Babb, the director, joined by our student workers tonight, Coleman Callan and Bailey Redden directing things in the truck, James Jolly and Hannah Hickman on camera, and also our advisor, Dr. Deborah Root, on one of the cameras as well. Our students have made their way back to campus. Classes start tomorrow. But before then, we got basketball. 24-18, Southern Nazarene leads by 6. We'll be back after this timeout on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
When we talk about communications and media, we're talking about a wide variety of fields because communications really relates to anybody, anywhere. And we tackle everything from interpersonal communication, group communication, how to make presentations, to studying mass communications and media. And our students are really interested in going out and being media producers. And one of the first things you have to do is to understand the media before you can adequately and efficiently communicate messages yourself through your job, whatever you choose to do. When you're here your very first semester, you can become involved in the Ouachita Signal, the Ouachitonian Yearbook, the Online Signal, the Photo Lab, visual media production, sports media production. There's a lot of different areas to get involved with. These students publish our printed publications, and they also have a chance for continuing education by attending such events like the Arkansas College Media Convention and the College Media Association Convention in New York City. You don't have to wait in line till your junior or senior year to do hands-on learning. You'll get that experience your very first semester, even if you have no previous experience. We have graduates who are working with television stations, either as an anchor, as a producer, as a videographer. We have students in advertising and public relations firms where they're creating strategic plans for organizations and businesses. Our students learn in the classroom and outside of the classroom through their practical experience, but we also enjoy fellowshipping and becoming close as a family. Faculty often have students over to their house for Christmas parties or spring parties or to celebrate graduations. Our students form friendships that will last a lifetime. Over the past 3 decades, some of the most important people in my life and the life of my husband, since we teach together, are students and faculty and staff that we've come in contact with at Ouachita. We're excited about what we have to offer in the communications department at Ouachita, and we want you here to share that with us.
Everything in life is about communication and language, and that's what we do in the School of Humanities at Ouachita. In the Department of Language and Literature, we've got outstanding students who are English majors and Spanish majors. In the Department of Communications, our communications and media majors have a number of emphases that they choose from. Strategic communications, multimedia journalism, sports media, communication studies, and a special approach in which we just talk to a student, figure out what courses they need, and help them put it together on the spot. One of the things that we've done with our new emphases is really give students a major opportunity to work outside of class because you get better at communications by doing the work. So we've got students who are working in a television studio to put programming together. We've got students who in sports media are out doing live streaming and broadcasting of games and doing a lot of sports work for the other publications like the printed newspaper and the yearbook, which win major awards every year. And then our online version of the newspaper is really the newspaper of the future.
My experience in the School of Humanities has been super special. I feel like the professors are really hands-on, and they would always help me maximize my time here.
They gave me lots of different opportunities. I got to host the sports show, did lots of writing, lots of sports journalism, a lot of color commentating for different sports. And that not only taught me how to actually do the job that I do now, but I also got to turn around and put it on my resume, which looked great.
Most Spanish majors at Ouachita major in more than one area, and we've designed the curriculum purposefully to allow that to happen because whether you're in business and Christian studies, whatever your major might be, if you've got Spanish as a background, it's going to help you in many, many ways. One of the great things about English as a major is it helps you become a critical thinker. If you want to teach, that's great. We'll help you become a secondary English teacher. We'll help you become a college professor. But if your interest is really in publications, if your interest is in editing, will certainly work with you in that area also. Our English majors are very much career-oriented, and they work together with a very fine faculty to produce one of the very few bilingual literary publications.
Working on my degree plan with my professors, I was able to soon realize that, wow, I'm able to do more than I thought I was able to. I was able to add another major, and I didn't even know coming into college that I was able to do that. And I was able to study abroad in Spain to really become more fluent in Spanish, which was one of my majors. And so I don't think I would have had the same opportunities elsewhere.
The number of jobs in communications is actually increasing greatly. A lot of that is in the world of public relations, a lot of that is in the world of advertising, and a lot of that is based on particular skills that you develop while you're in college. All of those that we put together are based on increasing a skill level for our students so they'll have a wide range of jobs they can apply for.
I think Ouachita is distinct from a lot of other schools. Ouachita gives you so many opportunities for not only your education and your academic growth, but your spiritual and your personal growth.
You're getting a very well-rounded degree. You'll absolutely be prepared if you get a degree from the humanities school.
Welcome back to Bill Vining Arena, campus of Ouachita Baptist University. Halftime of this Great American Conference women's basketball game between the Southern Nazarene University Crimson Storm and the Ouachita Tigers. We're getting ready to start the third quarter. Southern Nazarene will have possession to start the third quarter with, Ouachita will, with the 6-point Southern Nazarene lead. Southern Nazarene lost 3 of 4. But as we mentioned at the outset, this team is the reigning GAC tournament champion, and they have a lot of experience back from that team. Thornton pulls up from the baseline, tipped by Abby Nehus, and the rebound goes to Southern Nazarene. Nehus trying to get a start like she did the first half, and she does. Nehus with 12 points now to lead all scorers. Thornton's pass to Miller is tipped away. Layup down on the other end, Monahan. Emily Monahan makes it 4 straight out of halftime for Southern Nazarene, and the lead is 10. Ouachita trying to get things going offensively with Thornton and Van Zant, but a foul is going to be called on Abby Nehus as she was trying to keep Thornton from flashing up, and she was called for the body. Thornton goes in, layup, no good. Rebound to Southern Nazarene. On the other end, shot up by Watt, no good. Rebound Miller. Miller on a Watt, and that's going to be a blocking foul called. Are they going to count that basket? That was a good position by Cassandra Aywat, and they are going to count that basket. She called it on 5. It should have. It's the wrong person.
Michaela Miller. Southern Nazarene foul charge number 5, Alexis
Yep,
Jones.
they're going to change that.
Team foul number 2.
They're going to change that foul to 1. Going to change that foul. Yeah. So Miller gets the layup and the free throw. That foul should have gone to Aywat. They called it on Alexis Jones. They signaled it to Jones, but it was not. It was on Aywat. Jones from deep. That was partially tipped. Rebound, Nihus. She missed her put back into the arms of Miller. Layup, no good. Washita just can't get in an offensive rhythm. Now a foul is going to be called on Aspen Thornton.
Washita foul charge number 12.
Coach Trent May and the Southern Nazarene bench wanted a foul on the previous possession. Didn't get it, and that one happened right in front of the bench with the official, and that one was going to get called. Trent May led the Crimson Storm to their first GAC championship last year. Monahan out. The pass is tipped out of bounds by Laney Mears. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Monahan drives on right. Van Zandt is whistled for the foul. She tried to get over the top side of Nihus and alter the shot, but she was whistled for the foul. It's the second foul on Van Zandt. Monahan goes to the free throw line. On the season, Monahan is a 62.7% free throw shooter coming into today's game. She misses the first trip to the free throw line for the junior from Melbourne, Australia. Knocks down the second one. She has 5 points. And Nero Malou checks in for Washita, replacing Van Zandt. Freshman post for freshman post. Thornton high off the glass, counted, and the foul for Aspen Thornton. You had a better look than I did. And that foul is going to be on Abby Nihus. That's her third personal foul. It was blocked by the official. But that was a nice take by Aspen Thornton, the freshman from Lake Hamilton, leading scorer in the nation and the conference. She now has 7 points, well below her season average, but tonight's game has been well below the season average as well. She gets the old-fashioned three-point play, and it's 29-24. Miller, ooh, wow, flashes in there and gets the foul called on her. They let these teams play in the first half, and there have already been 7 fouls called in the first 2:36. Not going to bode well if it goes that way for Washita. Washita not a very deep bench. 5 players on that bench. All 4 of those 5 have been in. Thornton with the reach in. The shot no good from Aywat. And the foul is going to be called on Washita. That's going to be on Lauren Wright, and that's 4.
Washita foul charge number 30, Lauren Wright, her 4th personal foul, team foul number 4.
So 8 fouls now called in the first 2:50. Skip pass. Monahan. Wright can't foul, and Monahan goes to the hole and gets the layup to go. She has 5 so far in the third quarter. Miller, pull-up jumper, in and out, no good. Rebound, Kennedy Gillette. Quickly ahead, stolen by Michaela Miller. Boy, nice read, like a defensive back in football. Mears for 3, off to the right. No good, rebound to Cassandra Aywat. Malou gets around Nehus. Nice defense by Ouachita. The double on the baseline from Miller and Malou forces the pass to Nehus. Malou knocks it out, is able to control the ball, and it goes out of bounds off of the foot of a Crimson Storm player, and it will go over to Ouachita. Mackenzie Schillmoeller comes into the game for Ouachita, replacing Lauren Wright. Wright has 4 fouls. Other fouls for Ouachita: Thornton, Miller, and Van Zant, all with 2. Thornton and Miller on the floor for Ouachita. Laney Mears takes a seat. Kaylin Wright, and a foul is going to be called on Kennedy Gillette. I believe that's going to be the 3rd foul on Gillette.
Southern Nazarene foul charge number 22.
And Kaylin Wright will go to the free throw line for Ouachita. Kaylin Wright has not been to the free throw line. Kaylin did not get to play many games in the first semester. She was out with injury, came back in December. That's the That's 10 fouls on Southern Nazarene in the first half. I've got that is the 5th foul on Southern Nazarene, and so now Kaylin Wright does go to the free throw line after standing there for a while, gets her first free throw to go of the season, first trip to the line. It's 31-25. Shot from Iwad is no good. Rebound controlled by Iwad. Out to Soap. Sets up. Three-pointer in and out. No good. Rebound Kaylin Wright. Good rebound from Kaylin Wright. Michaela Miller operates on Reether. That's got to be something. Goodness gracious. And they call it late. I think they called it on the wrong person. That may be on Nehus. They do. That's Nehus, and that's her 4th.
So the Nazarene foul charge number 14, Abby Nehus.
That's her 4th. That's unfortunate for Southern Nazarene. I think that foul should have been called on Reether. Instead, they called it on Nehus. Ouachita will take it. Southern Nazarene will sub in after the next opportunity. If Miller makes this free throw, figure that will be Nehus that has to come out. She does make it. So Miller now has 11 points, and Nehus is going to have to take a seat. That was to the benefit of Ouachita. They let the first foul go, called the second one, which was not as much contact. Unfortunately for Southern Naz, it was on Nehus, and now we have a layup and another foul. A Watt.
Ouachita foul charge to number 24, Kaylin Wright, her 2nd personal foul. At the line for
That's the 2nd foul on Kaylin Wright. And Watt goes to the free throw line. 77.8% on the season for the reigning GAC MVP, the leading scorer for Southern Nazarene. She has 8 points so far, and she's trying to make it 9 and give Southern Naz a 6-point lead. Free throw is good. She now has 9, 34-28. Teams are going to have to adjust, and there's a steal by Watt. Just stole it right from Michaela Miller. Miller does a nice job of hustling down. Soap sets her feet. Three-pointer no good. Rebound Kennedy Gillette. Cassandra Watt and Michaela Miller is a fun matchup. Reether from the corner for 3, in and out, no good. Rebound, Kaylin Wright. Miller's going to try to take a Watt to the hole. The body of all the contact, let that one go. Rebound to Southern Naz. Baseline jumper from Gillette, no good. Rebound, Schillmoeller. To Miller. Now Miller goes to the hole and draws the foul on J.C. Soap.
Southern Nazarene foul charge to number 2, J.C. Soap.
That's her first personal foul. Media timeout. We'll take it. 34-28. Southern Nats leads by 6. We'll be back after this timeout on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
It helped me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
.4:15 remaining in the third quarter. Southern Nazarene 34, Ouachita 28. Both teams are in the bonus. So for the final 4:15, and it has been that way, both teams will be going to the free throw line every time there's a foul, and there have been several called in the first half of this third quarter. Miller knocks down 1 of 2. 6 points in the third quarter, 12 for the game. Ouachita 12 of 19 from the free throw line, 61% free throw shooting tonight. They came into the game shooting 72%. And now a foul is going to be called on Aspen Thornton. I think this happened Saturday in the third quarter as well. That's the third personal foul on Thornton, as we were ready to get to that fourth quarter break and reset the fouls. Sandra Watt goes to the free throw line and knocks her first one down. 10 points now for Watt, the 5'8" junior guard from Lubbock, Texas. 2 for 2. The lead is 7. Ouachita on the move the other way. Thornton. Nothing. Rebound to Kaylin Wright. Got to get some help. She does to Nero Malou. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Thornton up and under, in and out, no good. Nice up and under from Kennedy Gillette, but it won't go. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touched by Southern Nazarene. Michaela Miller will check in for Ouachita, replacing Aspen Thornton. Without Miller in the lineup, Southern Nazarene was looking to press. Miller comes back into the game. Southern Nazarene drops back into the half-court man-to-man. Nice backdoor pass up and under. Mears can't get it to go. Rebound Gillette. Ouachita still struggling from the field. Steal by Mears. Miller quickly ahead. Reether gets back. The blocking foul is called on Reether, and Michaela Miller will go back to the free throw line. First personal foul on Reether. Foul trouble for Southern Nazarene. Abby Nehus with 4. Kennedy Gillette with 3. Miller to the free throw line for 2. Knocks the first one down. 13 points now for the junior guard from Little Rock. Make it 14 as she's 2 for 2. Claudia Van Zant comes in, replacing Nero Malou. 8 of Ouachita's 12 points here in the third quarter have come from the free throw line. Only 2 field goals in the third period for the Tigers. Awat gets one to go. Cassandra Awat gets that one to go on the runner. And it's a 7-point lead now for the Crimson Storm, and that ball was not tipped by Reether. Van Zant passed to Kaylin Wright, but Wright was cutting to the basket. And the turnover will give the ball to the Crimson Storm. The only hope was there that the official might have thought that Reether had tipped that one out as she had a hand in the passing lane, but it was out of the grasp of Reether and went out of bounds into the Ouachita bench. And now Southern Nazarene has a chance to tie, and a foul is going to be called on Aspen Thornton. Man, they let them bang for the first half, and then they just not letting them do anything now. That's the fourth. That's the fourth foul on Thornton. Ouachita had a size disadvantage in most lineups, but during the first half, they really let those guards body up down there and play post defense, but they have not let either team play physical in the second half, which has got to be hard to adjust, but nevertheless, the teams do need to adjust, and to this point, Southern Nazarene is the one adjusting better, and now the lead is 9 after Awat knocks down 2 more. Aspen Thornton to the bench with 4 fouls. Nehus has 4 fouls. Jesse Bennett was cutting back door, and Michaela Miller was looking for Bennett, but when Bennett cut back door, the pass went out of bounds. Now a foul is going to be called on Lainey Mears. Reether to the free throw line. First free throw, nothing but net for Lauren Reether. And Southern Nazarene has another 10-point lead. Ouachita was down by 10 and made it a 2-possession game. Can't do that too often. Southern Nazarene is in control of this one. The second free throw from Reether good also. Jesse Bennett picks up her dribble, looking for help, gets it from Van Zant. 10 on the shot clock. Miller pulls up from 17, can't get the roll to go, and Ouachita is not knocking down the shots that it has knocked down for the previous stretch. Nice cut off of that cut by Van Zant. Jesse Bennett goes the other way, and the ball is stolen away from Bennett. And they call a carrying violation on Cassandra Awat. It'll go over to Ouachita. Awat did a tremendous job of running up behind Jesse Bennett and knocking the ball away. Then the official ruled that as Awat was reversing her direction on the court, she carried the basketball. Schillmoller, kick out. Bennett passes up the 3, goes all the way in. A shot is going to be fouled. It's going to be called on Lauren Reether. That's her second personal foul. And Jesse Bennett will go to the free throw line for Ouachita. Bennett, the senior, 5'3" senior guard from Leonard, Texas. 80% free throw shooter on the year. Knocks down the first one. Her first point of the game. And it's 42-32. 2 for 2 from the line for Bennett. Under a minute to go, 9-point lead for Southern Naz here in the third quarter. Watt, while she was going for the shot, she goes to Gillette. That's going to be an offensive foul on a Watt as she lowered her head just as Michaela Miller had gotten position. She stopped, and then she went ahead or leaned in with her head just a little bit, and that's the 4th foul on Kennedy Gillette. You can't let the sub in. They're going to let it go. And Coach May is not happy that he didn't get Kennedy Gillette out of there. Ouachita goes at Gillette, layup no good, but a foul is going to be called on Emily Monahan.
Southern Nazarene foul charge to number 12, Emily Monahan, her 3rd personal foul. The line for the Tigers, number 5, Lady
19 fouls in the first half, 18 here in the 3rd quarter. Mears misses her first free throw. Uncharacteristic night all the way around for Ouachita on the offensive end. Mears an 82.6% free throw shooter. Gets the second one to go. She has 4 points. It's an 8-point lead for Southern Nazarene. Mears pressures Reether. She got the push off again. Nice flash for the steal by Miller. A Watt gets the loose ball. Shot no good, but a foul, it's out of bounds. Last touch by Ouachita. And 9 seconds on the game clock. For Southern Nazarene. Nice job by Reether. And at the buzzer, the shot's going to be no good. Lainey Mears was pressuring. They did not call a foul. And that is the end of the 3rd quarter. Southern Nazarene 42, Ouachita 34. Back for the 4th quarter after this timeout on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Baseball for me just kind of was the glue that kept my family together. I feel like I was able to come here and get my triple major, as well as play a super high level of baseball against some of the best players in the country. There's a lot of options here in Division II with a lot of great ball players and a lot of great people, and they make sure that they give you every opportunity to succeed on and off the field.
On December 7, 2005, I was deployed to Baghdad, Iraq. As I was searching for the bomb, the bad guy and the bomb found me first. After the explosion, I was left with a 1% chance of living. During my road to recovery, I had a tremendous amount of support from friends and families and the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes. The primary mission of the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes is to offer financial emergency assistance to veterans and their families.
Visit saluteheroes.org to learn more.
42-34, Southern Nazarene with an 8-point lead. It'll be Southern Nazarene ball out of the timeout. 18 fouls called in that 3rd quarter. There were 19 at half, 37 total fouls now, so 18 in the 3rd quarter. The good thing is the fouls reset and we were back to 0-0, so foul trouble for Ouachita. Lauren Wright, Aspen Thornton both with 4. They start the 4th quarter on the bench for Southern Nazarene. Kennedy Gillette and Abby Nehus have 4, and they also start the 4th quarter on the bench. And we start with a foul.
Ouachita foul charge to number 13,
on Michaela Miller. Now she's got 3. Ten on the shot clock. The Watt blocking foul on Mackenzie Schillmoeller. And Watt will go to the free throw line for 2 shots.
At the line for the Crimson Storm, number 1, Cassandra Watt.
Watt to the free throw line. 5 of 5 from the line tonight. She leads all scorers with 15 points. 77.8% from the free throw line on the year. She's the team leader in that category. 28 of 36 from the free throw line. Free throw is good for Awatt to start the scoring in the fourth quarter. Two for two. Into the game for Ouachita, Aspen Thornton. She is one of 4 players with 4 fouls, and she is the first one to make her way onto the floor here in the fourth quarter. But Ouachita down by 10. You kind of need to have the scoring threat from the nation's leading scorer, who has been held to a season and career low to this point. Monahan guarding Thornton. Thornton gets by her, pull up from 17, in and out, rolls around and comes out. Ouachita not shooting good from the field is an understatement. 22% from the field so far. Thornton shot up, no good, and a foul is going to be called on Awatt. That's her third personal foul. Third foul on Awatt. Aspen Thornton going to the free throw line. First free throw is good for Thornton, 84.6% free throw shooter. 9 points for Thornton. Make it 10.
For Southern Nazarene, number 14.
Abby Nehus returns to the game. So the leading scorers for both teams. For Nehus, she leads the Crimson Storm to 9, or got the Crimson Storm off to a big start with her 10 first half points. She has 4 points. Soap operates on Thornton, who has 4 fouls. Can't foul. Soap knew it, and they went to see if Thornton over Nehus. Tried to get that 5th one on Nehus. Wouldn't go. Couldn't get the whistle, but gets the shot to go. 46-38. See if Southern Nazarene goes back to Soap, who was guarded by Thornton. They did on that possession. They'll come back out now. Thornton with the closeout. The shot from Soap, no good. Controlled by Claudia Van Zant. Thornton on the move for Ouachita. Dish off to Van Zant. Layup good for Claudia Van Zant. Again, Nehus has 4 fouls. She couldn't contest too much. Be interesting back and forth on these possessions to see how the coaches try to attack. That's a push off with the elbow. Soap doubled by Schillmoller. Nehus and Van Zant being allowed to bang down low, and that's going to be a foul on Claudia Van Zant. And that's the 3rd foul on Van Zant.
Claudia Van Zant, her 3rd personal foul, team foul number 2 against the Tigers.
They're allowing them to bang until they're not. Awatt pulls up from 14. The floater in and out, no good. Nehus can't get it, and that was the one Ouachita really needed. The 3-pointer on the other end, no good. Rebound, Monahan. Nehus used her reach, and a traveling violation is called on Southern Nazarene. The official saying she was straight up, but he had a terrible angle. And he might have seen it, but maybe he was in a different angle. Southern Nazarene benefits from that one. 2-possession game, 46-40. Miller to Mears with the behind the back move to Miller. 4 seconds. Miller from 17. Good from Michaela Miller. Miller leads the Tigers tonight. She has 16 points. It is a 4-point game. Reether with the runner, no good. Van Zant with the rebound, and they let Ouachita bang on that one. Blocking foul called on Lainey Mears. And that's going to be the 3rd foul on Mears. Thornton got double teamed in the corner. 4 fouls on Ouachita, so the next foul on Ouachita will put Southern Nazarene in the bonus for the remainder of the game. Mackenzie Schilmoller knocks the ball away from Monahan, controls it. Tie ball, alternating possession will go to Ouachita. Miller, Thornton, Van Zant, Schilmoller, and Mears on the floor for Ouachita. Miller looked for Thornton backdoor, couldn't get it. Mears for 3, no good. Rebound, Nehus. Give you an update on the fouls, and that's Michaela Miller's 4th. Fouls for Ouachita. Lainey Mears with 3. Aspen Thornton, Michaela Miller, Lauren Wright with 4. Claudia Van Zant with 3. Mackenzie Schilmoller and Kaylin Wright with 2. For Southern Nazarene, Abby Nehus and Kennedy Gillette with 4. Cassandra Awatt and Emily Monahan each with 3. Nobody else with 3. Gillette comes back into the game for Southern Nazarene. She has 4 fouls. Nero Malou checks in for Ouachita. Alexis Jones also back into the game for Southern Nazarene. So for Ouachita, Lainey Mears, Michaela Miller, Mackenzie Schilmoller, Aspen Thornton, and Nero Malou. First free throw is good from Cassandra Awatt. 18 points, now 19. The lead for Southern Nazarene is back to 6. Schilmoller for 3 for Miller. Good for Mackenzie Schilmoller. Give the assist to Michaela Miller, and it is a 3-point game. 5:08 remaining. Got to play smart defense if you're Ouachita. This is a matchup you don't want a player to pick up a 5th foul on. Alexis Jones. Backdoor to Gillette, guarded by Schilmoller. In and out, no good. Rebound Gillette, and the foul's going to be called on Schilmoller. And Gillette gets the attempt at the old-fashioned 3-point play. 3rd foul on Mackenzie Schilmoller. Media timeout, we'll take it because that was just for us. 4:45 remaining in the 4th quarter. Ouachita trails by 5. It's Southern Nazarene 50. Ouachita 45. Back to Bill Vining Arena after this timeout on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. He sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. Basically, he had to relearn everything. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
(50-45), Southern Nazarene leads by 5. 4:45 remaining in the 4th quarter. Foul trouble is the name of the game, particularly for Ouachita. Aspen Thornton with 4 fouls. Michaela Miller with 4. Lauren Wright with 4. 3 fouls apiece for Claudia Van Zant and Mackenzie Schulmoller, 2 for Kaylin Wright. For Southern Nazarene, Abby Nehus and Kennedy Gillette have 4 fouls, 3 for Awat and Emily Monahan. Kennedy Gillette's free throw is no good. 5-point game. Thornton goes in straight up, but a foul is going to be called. That's tough on Monahan. Now we have the media timeout. Monahan will get the 4th foul called on her. Media timeout now, and we'll take it because this one is just for us. 50-45, Southern Nazarene up by 5, 4:39 remaining. Back to Bill Vining Arena on this timeout. After this timeout on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
4 minutes, 39 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. Great American Conference basketball from Bill Vining Arena on the campus of Ouachita Baptist University. Southern Nazarene 50, Ouachita 45. This game originally scheduled to be played the week between Christmas and New Year's Day, but because of COVID postponements, Southern Nazarene made the trip over today on Tuesday, and we are in action. This is the last makeup game to this point that Ouachita will have to make, both for the men and for the women. Aspen Thornton to the free throw line for Ouachita. First free throw from Thornton is good. Thornton now with, pull it up, 13 points. Now make it 14. And the lead is just 3 again. Nehus on the floor, so is Gillette. Those players have 4 for Southern Nazarene. Miller and Thornton on the floor for Ouachita. They also have 4. Nehus looking for a matchup against Miller, but Ouachita rotates out of it to get Nero Malou back guarding against Miller. A hook. Boy, they let it go on that one, and Nero Malou is fortunate that she wasn't called for a foul. Thornton, layup, no good. Rebound, Alexis Jones. A little bit out of control on that one was Ouachita. And Alexis Jones will slow things down for the Crimson Storm. Cassandra Awat guarded by Michaela Miller. Tough matchup for Miller, especially with 4 fouls. Nice give and go. Nehus misses the chippy. Ouachita controls it. Mears to Miller on Alexis Jones. Layup good for Michaela Miller. And it's a 1-point game. Goodness. 3 minutes, 25 seconds remaining. Watt flashes across. Gets out to Gillette. Kick out Alexis Jones for 3. No good. Rebound Michaela Miller. Ouachita driving. Schulmoller for 3 in the lead. Good for Mackenzie Schulmoller. Her second 3 of the 4th quarter, and the Tigers have a lead, 52-50, under 3 to play. Monahan has to get rid of it. Watt's going to drive on Miller. She can't do much. She doesn't rebound Watt. Shot up and a foul on Nero Malou.
Ouachita foul charge to number 15, Nero Malou.
Malou's first foul. It's amazing that Nero Malou has played this many minutes and has 1 foul. She's the only player on Ouachita's team with less than 3 other than Kaylin Wright. She has 2. Cassandra Watt back to the free throw line. She's 9 of 9 tonight from the free throw line. Thought we were going to make it 10 of 10, but it caught every part of the rim and then rolled out. Try to cut the Ouachita lead to 1, and she does. Watt now has 20 points to lead all scorers. Ouachita led by Miller's 18 and Thornton with 14. 1 point Tiger lead. Thornton got her defender off balance. That shot went in and out, hit every part of the rim and came back out. Watt blocked by Malou. Watt controls it. Nice body control by Cassandra Watt. Reether pull up in the middle of the lane. No good. She hits the ground. No foul is called. Michaela Miller the other way. Mears dish off to Malou. Can't control it. Now the ball's on the ground. Miller does a nice job of not committing the 5th foul. Watt's going to have a cutting Nihus, but she doesn't hit her. She had Nihus for the lead. The 3-pointer no good. Rebound at Watt. Out to the hands of Aspen Thornton, and Thornton's going to have a chance. Reether does not foul. Aspen Thornton layup is good. I thought Southern Nazarene had a chance to take the lead if they had found a cutting Abby Nihus, but instead the Crimson Storm decide to go across the court, and then a pass is thrown into the hands of Aspen Thornton, and somehow Ouachita has a 3-point lead with 1 minute and 33 seconds remaining. You looked at halftime, Southern Nazarene had led for 18 minutes and 22 seconds of those 20 minutes. See if we can find that stat. Time with lead. If you look at so far, Southern Nazarene has led for 35 minutes and 16 seconds of this game. Ouachita has led for 1 minute and 47 seconds. But it does not matter when you or how much you lead, as long as or how little amount of the clock you lead, as long as it's at the end of the game. And goodness gracious, if Ouachita doesn't have a chance now to overcome one of its worst shooting percentages of the game, of the season. Look at team shooting. Ouachita 15 of 46 for 32.6%. Southern Nazarene, though, 17 of 58 for 29%. Southern Nazarene shot 40% in the first quarter. They were 38.5%, 10 of 26 from the field at halftime. And Southern Nazarene has only gone 7 for its last 36. They are 17 of 58 from the field right now. At halftime, they were 10 of 26, so 7 of its last 36 in the second half. And that will let anybody in it. And that's where Ouachita finds now, trying to get a stop to preserve a lead. 3-point lead for Ouachita. Watt. Guarded by Miller with her 4 fouls. Mackenzie Schillmoller came over the back, and she is whistled for her 4th personal foul. And Southern Nazarene's going to go to the free throw line. Schillmoller came over the back and committed the foul. And Soap goes to the free throw line. First free throw good for J.C. Soap. She has 3 points, all here in the 4th quarter. On the season, Soap is a 65% free throw shooter, misses it. Watt makes a nice athletic move, almost gets that rebound, but it goes out of bounds, and here comes the full court pressure. Timeout, Ouachita. 1 minute, 17 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. It will be full court pressure from Southern Nazarene. 30-second timeout, so we'll go ahead and keep it here. Kind of give you a game reset. Possession arrow is with Southern Nazarene, so if the Crimson Storm can tie up the ball, they will have possession and try to tie or take a lead. Foul situation. Southern Nazarene is in the bonus. Ouachita is not in the bonus yet, and Southern Nazarene actually has 2 fouls to give. They've only been whistled for 2 fouls here in the fourth quarter. Foul trouble for Southern Nazarene, who they will not want to foul. Emily Monahan with 4, Abby Nehus with 4, and Kennedy Gillette with 4. Cassandra Awat has 3. No other player has more than 2 on the floor. Awat and Nehus are in the back, and Southern Nazarene is not going to press. They're not going to pressure. They're not going to pressure the inbounds pass. They're going to drop back. Didn't expect that. I figured Southern Nazarene might try to put some pressure and try to force Ouachita into a turnover. Thornton guarded by Monahan. Thornton's going to go baseline. Shot up. Good for Aspen Thornton. She wanted the foul. Wasn't called. Instead, she got the basket to go, and the Ouachita lead is 4. Under a minute to go. Thornton, a nice take from Emily Monahan. She had 4 fouls too and couldn't do much. Awat had the baseline. She pulled up her dribble, and I don't know why she did that. She had the lane to the block. Ball rolling around on the ground. Reether has it. 20 on the shot clock. Shot up good off the glass from Lauren Reether, her first basket in the second half. She now has 8 points. Back to a 2-point game, 38.8. 32nd timeout, Southern Naz, so we'll keep it here again. Thought Southern Naz might put some pressure on in that previous possession. We'll see now with only 38.8 seconds if the Crimson Storm decide to indeed pressure Ouachita full court. Coach Dallimore saying if you can't get it in, just call timeout. Ouachita has 3 timeouts left, Southern Nazarene with 1. Head coach Robert Dallimore in his 3rd season at Ouachita after being a longtime assistant at the University of Arkansas at Little Rock under legendary head coach Joe Foley. On the court for Ouachita, Malou, Thornton, Mears, Miller, and Schillmoller. And indeed, it will be full court pressure from Southern Nazarene. Michaela Miller will trigger the inbounds pass for Ouachita. See if they step Nero Malou out to catch this one. No, they don't. Miller gets it to Aspen Thornton. A foul is called on Cassandra Awat, and I don't think Southern Naz was trying to foul. That is the 4th foul on Awat. 3rd team foul against Southern Nazarene. It'll be on the baseline instead of on the sideline. Michaela Miller will have to hold her spot. She gets it to Nero Malou. Back to Miller. That's going to be a nice cutoff by Abby Nehus. She did a nice job of cutting Miller off without fouling. The official did a nice job of not anticipating that Nehus would foul. And Ouachita calls a timeout. It'll be Ouachita's ball out of the timeout. Full timeout. We'll take a 30-second break, and we'll be back with the final 32.3 seconds after this 30-second timeout on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
Glad you're joined in with us. 32.3 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Ouachita 56, Southern Nazarene 54. Head coach Trent May of Southern Nazarene, 4th season at Southern Naz. And the Crimson Storm won the GAC tournament last year. Coach May tells one of the officials, we're not trying to foul. He said, will you tell the other official we are not trying to foul because Southern Naz wants to try to get this steal. Lainey Mears will trigger the inbound pass for Ouachita. Miller and Thornton, the 2 guards. Schillmoller also there. Mears, is she going to be able to get it? And that was a 5-second call. That was a fast 5, but it was a good defense by Southern Nazarene. And now Ouachita is going to have to play defense. 32.3 seconds remaining. 56-54. Ouachita leads by 2. Got to play defense and not foul. Looking inside for Nehus. Nero Malou knocks it away. Nehus has to save it. Mears ahead to Schillmuller. Layup, no good. 18 seconds. Southern Nazarene still has to score. Miller tips it away. Soap to a Watt for the lead. Good.
3-point basket. Cassandra Awad. Timeout, Southern Nazarene. 30-second timeout.
Timeout, Ouachita. Well, they said Southern Nazarene. Now it's depending on, they're trying to figure out who called the timeout. I believe they're going to want to come over and make sure that was a 3-pointer. So bear with us for a second as they come over and try to make sure that was a 3-pointer. So the 3-pointer gives Southern Nazarene a 57-56 lead. Ouachita had a chance to go up 58-54. Missed the layup in transition, and Southern Nazarene gets a huge 3-pointer from Cassandra Watt. That's her first field goal of the fourth quarter. All of Watt's points had come from the free throw line. She has 23 points tonight. She has 8 in the fourth quarter. 5 of those came from the free throw line, and that was her first field goal in the fourth quarter, but it was a big one. 10.6 seconds remaining. 57-56, Ouachita up by 1. Now a 30-second timeout called by Ouachita to set things up. And Ouachita will get to advance that to half court. So 1 timeout left for Ouachita, no timeouts left for Southern Nazarene. Southern Nazarene does have a foul to give. They've only been whistled for 3 fouls here in the fourth quarter. So they could foul Ouachita and prevent Ouachita from getting a shot attempt off and try to disrupt the offensive flow. They have the ability to play aggressively on the inbounds play. No timeouts left for Southern Nazarene. 1 timeout left for Ouachita. Lainey Mears will trigger the inbounds pass. You see the 4 teammates on the near side of the lower part of your screen. Thornton. They do get a timeout called by Ouachita before the 5-second. Coach Dallimore, you could hear him calling timeout. And now that means no more timeout, so Ouachita will have to get
30-second timeout.
It was 10.6 when we resume play. Now it's 10.4. Now they do have it back to 10.6 seconds. So Claudia Van Zant checks into the lineup for Ouachita. 57-56. They still have a foul to give after Cassandra Watt's big 3-pointer in transition put Southern Nazarene up by 1. The 5'8" junior guard from Lubbock, Texas, hit what would end up being the game-winning 3-point shot. If Ouachita is not able to convert out of this timeout, it will be Ouachita's ball in front of its own bench. On the floor for Southern Naz, Nehus, Soap, Awat, Reether, and Monahan. For Ouachita, Mears Thornton, Van Zant, Schillmoller, and Miller. Schillmoller to trigger the inbounds pass. They do not guard her. To Michaela Miller. 8, 7. Miller with 7. She's going to try to go around. Can't get around it. Pull up. Jumper doesn't go. Ball on the ground, and that is how the game will end. Ouachita can't get the shot to go from Michaela Miller. It bounced around and rimmed out, and that is the final score. A three-pointer from Cassandra Awat is the difference as Southern Nazarene gets a 57-56 victory over the Ouachita Tigers. A heartbreaker because the Tigers had to fight from behind the entire night and overcame. They got over that hump. They took the lead. They had a chance to make it a 4-point lead. Didn't get the layup to go. And Southern Nazarene responded with Awat's three-pointer that gave the Crimson Storm the 1-point lead that would last. And that is the final score. Let's take a look at the leading scorers for both teams. First for Southern Nazarene, Cassandra Awat with 23 points to lead the way. She came into the game averaging 19, leads the way with 23. Abby Nehus had 12. She had 8 in the first quarter, 10 at halftime, only 1 basket in the second half. She had 12 points for Southern Naz, only 2 in double figures. Reether with 8, Monahan with 7. Soap with 3, Gillette and Adams both with 2. Jones, Leon, and Lily Smith played but did not score for Southern Nazarene. For Ouachita, the leading scorer was Aspen Thornton and Michaela Miller. Each had 18 for Ouachita. They were the only 2 in double figures. Mackenzie Schillmoller had 8, including a 3 that gave Ouachita its first lead in the second half. Lainey Mears only 4 points on the night. 2 points for Jesse Bennett, 2 points for Kaylin Wright, 1 point for Nero Malou, and Lauren Wright played but did not score for Ouachita. Turnovers were the key in the first half. We talked about the amount of turnovers at the first half break. The teams ended, Ouachita ended with 22 turnovers, 23 for Southern Nazarene. Now joined by Ouachita head coach Robert Dallimore. And coach, that game was a strange game from the get-go. Despite the offensive troubles and the amount of turnovers, your team had a chance to win at the end. Came over that hump, as they may say, took the lead, but you just can't flirt with fire that many times in a game.
Well, I want to give God all the glory, honor, and praise for having such a great group of kids. And we'll come back from this. It's a tough way to lose. You know, it's part of it. We fought. We showed a lot of toughness to get back into it, and we just didn't finish the job. I got to do a better job.
Defensively, it seemed like the way the game was played was different from the first half to the second half. Third quarter, lots of fouls called on both teams. It looked like both teams seemed to adjust to that well in the fourth quarter, but that third quarter was a tough adjustment defensively, it looked like, for both teams.
Yeah, I think first half they were kind of letting us play. Second half calling more fouls in the third quarter. Fourth quarter, I think they went back to kind of somewhere in between, letting us play and not, and, you know.
Coach, you come back Thursday night, have to put this one behind you.
Absolutely.
A tough one to put behind, but that's a good thing. You
Yep.
got a chance, and you only have 48 hours to wait until you get back, prepare for this. What does the next day or two look like for your team as you prepare for Southeastern?
Well, get them off their feet, get some fluids, get some protein. Let's, grow from this, get ready for Southeast. That's all you can do, man. Whether we would have won or lost, you got to move on. It's the next day, next play. So, hopefully we'll learn from this. I think we will. I think we will. I got a good group of kids.
Coach Dallimore, thanks for taking your time out to join us.
Hey, Caleb, hi. Love you, bud. Love you, Sharon. Love you, Jordan. Y'all have a great night.
Our thanks to head coach Robert Dallimore for stopping by to talk to us after a tough 1-point loss for Ouachita, 57-56. That'll wrap up the women's broadcast. The Tigers' next game in women will be Thursday at 5:30 when Ouachita hosts Southeastern Oklahoma State. For the rest of the crew on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, Coleman Callan and Bailey Redden running things in the truck. James Jolly, Hannah Hickman, and Deborah Root on camera. This is Chris Babb saying thanks for joining us. Have a great night, rest of the night, everybody, and we'll see you again Thursday night from Bill Vining Arena. Good